Like, like, yeah. As of right now, that might probably be more accurate for the United States. Probably not. We should probably change it from the USA to the DSA. Because it doesn't feel united anymore. It feels the exact fucking opposite. And it's ridiculous. US election results. Donald Trump vs. Joe Biden. The race to be president. Trump campaign files lawsuit to halt voting counting in Michigan. Major US news network picks Biden to win key state of Wisconsin. Trump, what the fuck are you talking about? So we're gonna play this video, but I'm like, this is on the New Zealand Herald.co.nz. If you want to check this out, I will link that in the description for you guys to check out. But this is really fucking stupid. You know what? I think we'll save the video for later. Save that. It's a bit of a build-up or something. Let's just read all the statements that are in this article. Democrat Joe Biden has taken another step towards the White House, with pundits projecting he will I'm sorry, what? Democrat Joe Biden has taken another step towards the White House, with pundits projecting he will the key seat of Wisconsin, and with it 10 crucial electoral votes. These people are aware that the word win is supposed to be here, right? New Zealand Herald, you fucked up. You forgot the word win between will and the. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has stepped up legal threats over several remaining states, with lawyers heading to court to halt the vote counting in Michigan. They claim they have been denied meaningful access to observe the counting in the state, which contributes 16 votes to the Electoral College. Why the fuck would you be given access to observe? Why would that be a thing? Can we go back to having Obama as president? Like, seriously. Like, Obama knew what the fuck he was doing. Obama actually knew how to run America. Okay? When we had Obama, America was brilliant. Now we've got a dumb fucking apricot running America, and he's screwed it up ginormously. People saying America is the greatest country in the world, already I was like, ugh, that's a bit of a stretch, mate. But I can still agree with him that it's better than some countries. There's some countries that America is way better than, but there are also other countries that's better than America, for different reasons. But now, this knob jockey's taking control of the White House. America is no longer great. America is no longer great because of this moron. America is now just... it's a shadow. It's a shadow of its former... The way I see it now with America is all the states are now no longer one fucking country. They're now all their own separate countries. So Texas is its own country, Michigan's its own country, Washington's its own country, fucking LA, all because of Trump. And it's mainly because Trump doesn't know how to fucking run America. He does. I wouldn't even trust Donald Trump to run a fucking car wash. Donald Trump seems so fucking incompetent. I wouldn't trust him running simple, menial tasks. I wouldn't even trust him to do the fucking laundry. Hell, if I told him to do the bathroom, he'd probably just fuck it up more than it already is. Just after 8 AM New Zealand time, Biden has 238 votes compared to Trump's 214. The winner requires 270 votes. And most likely, it'll be Biden. Now I'm gonna admit, I don't know anything about Biden. I honestly have no clue. I'd have to ask my friends. But I know Trump, and he is absolute fucking gobshite. Okay? He is actually, you know what? There was something I remember. I was going to make a video on that thing. I completely forgot. So, we'll come back to this in a second while I go show you that, which I bookmarked on Twitter.
Take a look at some of these charts.
I'd love to.
We're going to look.
Let's look.
And if you look at death,
It's started to go up
here's
again.
one. Well, right here, the United States is lowest in numerous categories. We're lower than the world.
Lower than the
lower
world?
than
What does that
Europe.
In what?
Look.
In what?
Take a look. Right here. Here's case death.
Oh, you're doing death as a proportion of cases. I'm talking about death as a proportion of population. That's where the US is really bad.
Well,
Much worse than South Korea, Germany, etc.
you can't do that. You have
Why
to go.
can't I do that?
You have to go by. You have to go by where. Look, here is the United States. You have to go by the cases. The cases.
Why
are
not
there.
as a proportion of
when
population?
We have somebody. What it says is when you have somebody that has it, where there's a case.
Oh, okay.
The people that live from those cases.
It's surely a relevant statistic to say if the US has X population and X percentage of death of that population versus
because you
South
have to
Korea.
go by the cases.
Well, look at South Korea, for example. 51 million population, 300 deaths. It's like, it's crazy
you don't
compared to
know
other
that.
countries. I do. It's on
You
the.
don't know
it's-
that.
You think they're faking their statistics? South Korea?
I
An
won't get
advanced
into
country?
that because I have a very good relationship
Yeah.
with the country. But you don't know that. And they have spikes. Look, here's
Germany
one.
low,
Here's
9,000?
one.
What are you
Here's
talking
one
about?
right
Like, you
here,
fucked up
United
with
States.
Kim
You take the
Jong-un.
number of cases.
Okay.
Now look, we're last, meaning we're first.
Last, I don't know
We
what
have
we're
the
first
best.
in. As a what?
Take a look.
Okay.
Again, it's
I just-
cases.
Okay.
And we have cases because of the testing. Wait,
1,000 Americans are dying a day, but I understand on cases, it's different.
no, but you're not reporting it correctly, Jonathan.
I think I am, but
If you take a look at this other chart, look, this is our testing, I believe. This is the testing, yeah.
yeah, we do more tests.
No, wait a minute. Well, don't we get credit for that? And because we do more tests, we have more cases. In other words, we test more, we have... Now, take a look. The top one, that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
But-
The top, Jonathan.
If hospital rates were going down and deaths were going down, I'd say terrific. You deserve to be praised for
Well, they
testing,
don't
but they're
even-
all going
you know,
up.
they very rarely talk-
60,000 Americans are in
If
hospital.
you watch the
1,000
news
dying
or
a
read the
day.
papers, they usually talk about new cases, new cases, new cases.
I'm talking about death.
Well, you look at
going
death.
up.
Death is way down from where it was.
It's 1,000 a
Death.
day. It was 2,500. It went down to 500. Now it's going up
Death,
again.
excuse me, where it was is much higher than where it is right now.
Went down, then it went up
spiked,
again.
But now it's going down again. It's
going
going
up.
down in Arizona. It's going down in Florida.
Nationally,
it's
it's
going
going
down in Texas. Take a look at this. These are the tests.
It's going down in Florida?
Yeah, it's going. It leveled out and it's going down. That's my report as of yesterday.
America have this fuckwit running America? Why? Like, what in the actual fuck? If you want to check this out, like, this is the tweet by Axios. This isn't the one I came across. I came across a, one that had this. I came across a tweet that had this in the tweet. But, like, Trump, the fuck you talking about, mate? Like, what are you actually on? That is evidence enough that Trump doesn't know how to run. If you remember, if you actually saw it, if you remember when I made that video talking about COVID-19, how it's coming out, I showed a newspaper article, okay, that had Trump being a fucking numpty. Wanted to bring all Americans back into work when we were in a fucking lockdown. So, put your hands up if you think Donald Trump is a fuckwit. All of you? Good. Trump has no idea how to look after people in a fucking pandemic. Trump, you're a dickhead. It is so fucking stupid. It's so stupid to think that it is because of this one person America has become fucked. if you don't agree with what I just said, fine, but take a look at this, okay? Global pandemic. Trump doesn't know how to deal with it, wants to bring everyone back into work because that's what everyone wants, and he is so delusional of the numbers, he thinks America doesn't have as many deaths as it actually does. I mean, granted, you talk about testing for cases, fine. Who's to say other countries aren't making tests? Who's to say other countries aren't doing tests? New Zealand does tests, but thankfully, because we're such a small country, so far away from the rest of the countries of the world, I mean, the only one that's closest to us is Australia, but because we're so small, we don't have that many countries. We don't have that many people coming around. Plus, travel's blocked. That's not supposed to come back until like 2021. Maybe 2022. But we're still doing cases. And right now, everything in New Zealand, for right now, is completely cushy. But that is just one example. Take a look at racism. Take a look at the amount of corruption for the rich. There's so much crap that has been going on in America that has completely fucked it ever since Trump came into power. And I think this is something the moronic Americans who voted for him need to remember. He is not a politician. He is a businessman. A businessman who is fucking thick as pig shit. And it doesn't take a genius to realize that. He is so clueless. I could run America better than him. I could run America 10 times better than Trump can. And I have zero qualifications and zero skill in being a politician. I have zero skill in being a politician. I have no qualifications to be a politician, but I can still run America better than Trump. Trump has already indicated he will demand a recount in Wisconsin, even before the final result is known. Another challenge is expected in Michigan. Fucking hell. Seriously? The threats indicate there could be a string of legal challenges and recount requests that will drag out the final result. Trump, you are losing! Fucking deal with it! The fate of the United States presidency is precariously balanced as Trump and Biden battle for three familiar battleground states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, that could prove crucial in determining who wins the White House. It is unclear when or how quickly a winner might be determined. A last burst of votes in Michigan and Wisconsin has given Biden a small lead in those states, but it's still too early to call the race. Hundreds of thousands of votes are also outstanding in Pennsylvania, and from what we just read, Trump's gonna demand a fucking recount, because he's gonna be calling absolute bullshit. I remember that got brought up in my Discord group. I can't remember who it was who brought it up, but they mentioned everything that happened since Trump came in. Well, all that Trump has done. Let's see if I can find that, actually. First, I'll read this bit. Biden revealed today that he was already fundraising to set up the largest election protection effort ever assembled. Because Donald Trump doesn't get to decide the outcome of this election. The American people do, he said in a tweet. You're fucking right! Trump, you don't get to decide. That basically says to me, Trump's got a bit of a fucking ego. That's what that says to me. I mean, if Trump is demanding recounts, one, there's some manipulation going on, and two, shows Trump to be a bit egotistical. What was in that group server? Whoops, wrong button. If I lived in the States and was an American, I would want to vote too. She didn't tell me who she voted for, and rightly so. I don't have to know. This is Haru, who lives in Canada. Nobody should be entitled to know who your vote is for. Unless the person willingly discloses who they vote for, it's an overall anonymous vote. Nobody should shame you for who you vote for, and nobody should coerce you to vote for certain people. Trump supporters are guilty of coercion and intimidation. If you've seen the news, Trump supporters are scaring Biden voters and intimidating independents into voting for Trump. It's why this election is actually a close race now. This election for Republicans isn't about stopping a virus. It's about staying in power and turning the US into a dictatorship. That's the Republicans' goal this year. Trump's debates prove that. When challenged about what he would do about the pandemic, he continuously dodged the question and instead told lies and shifting the responsibility on Biden, saying that the outbreak was Biden's fault. Somehow. Again, straight up manipulating. This is a straight up manipulation of voting. Which basically to me says that the voting might as well not even fucking matter at this point. What's the fucking point? I mean, if these Republicans actually want to stay in power, why the fuck not just cheat? Trump divided the country, and for some reason that is supposed to be making the country more powerful. When George Floyd was killed and people were protesting, his reaction was to threaten military involvement. Well, he sits back and shoots golf. Okay, but still better than Biden, IMO. Don't know what that means, and also... No, Trump's a fucking nutcase. When he got elected, I was willing to give him a chance, and I did not agree at all with people protesting his election. I was actually hoping he was going to do a good job. 4 years have passed, and he's done nothing. A president isn't obligated to change a country, just maintain it. Yeah, you're still... okay. But he's not! He hasn't maintained it! He hasn't done fuck all! All Trump has done is shrunk all the wine that's in the White House while jerking off in the presidential chair. To his own... genius. Again, I would run America better. Also, I'm getting deja vu of reading this. Like, I'm getting serious deja vu. And it's making me feel weird. The reason I'm saying it feel deja vu is because I feel like I've already made a video with this stuff already. And that's kind of made me... Wait, didn't I? So I'm kind of freaked out now. Well, I would say this. I bet any of us would make a better president than Trump or Reagan. Hell, in fact, any president that does nothing but just for the money. I think we need smart people for president at this very moment. Sorry, unpopular opinion. Again, just fucking bring back Obama. He actually knew how to maintain shit. Police brutality and discrimination against black people continues. School shootings happen way more often than ever before. Healthcare worse. A pandemic still rages on. The only thing Trump has ever done as president was giving tax breaks on the big corporations that abuse and underpay their employees, and the people who run them overpaid as all hell. Trump as president simply helped his rich friends get even richer, which is pretty terrible on that note. He was going to denuclearize North Korea, which talks fell out and never happened. He's going to chip away at the debt with China. I agree with AK. Didn't happen, and now China's censorship rampages across the states. And even a trade war with China is happening right now. Like, fuck. This is just ridiculous. Fucking kick Trump out. And this is coming from someone who has seen a Trump support in person. And I heard from personal friends of mine who knows that kid where he silenced people from their opinions on Trump back in my old high school. And this kid is a grade older than me. Not all Trump supporters are like that, but there are those extreme conservatists, let's be honest, mostly out of touch old men, that take it way too far. During the presidential debate, Trump doesn't even condemn white supremacy when given the question. So he just ignored the question. Oh, and did I mention Trump, like all his rich friends, steal tax money? That's why he's not releasing his taxes. You fucking bastard. I mean, this is ridiculous. The fact that Trump thinks he can get away with it. Yes, I've gone back to this now for a second. The fact Trump thinks he can actually do this is fucking obscene. I cannot believe this moron is in charge. There is so much wrong. And Trump, he doesn't give a fuck. Trump doesn't give a shit. All he cares about is money. He deserves to lose the seat at the White House. And not to mention what he did during the event with the 5 boys by saying to bring back the death penalty before he was president. You are fucking kidding me. Because he lists his billion-dollar businesses as failing in order to collect tax money. Ever since his election, the country has been so divided. The United States is not at all united. You know, the only time the United States has come together, regardless of political affiliation, when Cuties was released. Oh yeah, I feel like that needs to be done. To be honest, here in the US now is just about the money and being surrounded by people that won't care about your being. It friggin' sucks. And they just let sick people get away with everything. That's very true. It's no longer a democracy anymore. It's an oligarchy. 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 I don't know what that word is. I don't know what that word is. You know how Vince McMahon is getting away with practically enslaving his performers in WWE? Trump lets him. Because they're really close friends, and Vince donated a ton of money for Trump's re-election campaign. Wow. Vince, you're a knobhead. You gotta be shitting me. Not to mention Vince bribed the entire state of Florida to let WWE continue to put on shows despite the massive outbreak of COVID. And Trump allowed that to happen. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus fuck. If he really wanted to, he could get Trump to shut down WWE's main competitor, AEW. But that would be way too easy and would risk a huge lawsuit given the Khan family that owns AEW is massively rich. Honestly, can't we just get Obama back? Yes! Bring him back! He would actually sort all this shit out. Obama was fucking competent as hell. He knew how to run the country. I guess mishandling of a virus, racism, corruption that benefit the rich, tax stealing, encouraging domestic terrorism is what America wants. I'm sorry, I know this is a democracy, but it seems like a majority of America are terrible people. Yeah, very much so. Is absolutely disgusting. I just can't believe this is the thing. This is what's been going on ever since Trump came into power. Since Trump came into power, this has been going on. Trump doesn't give a fuck about the people. Trump doesn't give a shit about you guys. He doesn't care about you. All Trump cares about is the check he gets at the end of the month. That's all he cares about. That's all Trump gives a fuck about. You guys don't mean dick. You guys are nothing to Trump. Trump doesn't give a shit about you. So it would probably be a good idea to recheck your actual core values and maybe go vote for someone who isn't a fucking money-grubbed douchebag. Or vote third party, because Trump does not deserve to remain in office. He doesn't. The margins in the remaining states are extremely tight, with the candidates trading wins in battleground states. Trump picked up Florida, the largest of the swing states, while Biden flipped Arizona, a state that has reliably voted Republican in recent elections. Neither declared the 270 electoral college votes needed to carry the White House. Just 7 states remain up for grabs: Alaska, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. But people say the votes from the last 3 could take particularly long to tally up, meaning we could be in for a frustrating wait. Drama erupted late last night, US time. In an extraordinary move from the White House, Trump falsely claimed victory, saying the result would be taken to the US Supreme Court and declaring the vote a fraud. It was unclear exactly what legal action he might try to pursue. I think I know what legal action he would pursue. The legal action of he is a fucking nutcase who just wants money. Like, that's all he cares about. He's not in this to actually be a good president. He is not. He's a businessman. Businessmen don't run countries. Although I guess in a pinch he's better than Hillary Clinton, who probably would have started a nuclear fucking war with Russia. At least I've been told that. Biden briefly appearing in front of supporters in Delaware, that's a real thing, urged patience, saying the election ain't over until every vote is counted, every ballot is counted. It's not my place or Donald Trump's place to declare who's won this election, Biden said. That's the decision of the American people. Agreed. And Trump doesn't fucking understand that. Vote tabulations routinely continue beyond Election Day, and states largely set the rules for when the count has to end. In presidential elections, a key point is the date in December when presidential electors met. That's set by federal law. You look more orange than you should here, mate. I think this is what happens when you play polymerization on Annoying Orange and Steve from Accounting. You get this knob jockey. That's what happens. The president adopted Florida as his new home state, wooed its Latino community, particularly Cuban Americans, and held rallies. What the fuck? Like, don't even bother. Like, I've stopped giving a toss. Because all this is making me do is want to punch out Donald Trump and kick him out. Now, let's play this.
I'm here to tell you tonight, we believe we're on track to win this election. We knew because of the unprecedented early vote and the mail-in vote.
Why are you guys doing this on a fucking
it's going to take a while. We're going to have to be patient until the hard work of tallying the votes is finished. And it ain't over till every vote is counted. Every ballot is counted.
I want to thank the American people for their tremendous support. Millions and millions of people voted for us tonight. And
bad move.
A very sad group of people is trying to disenfranchise that group of people. And we won't stand for it. We will not stand for it.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna stop it right there. It sounds like he's talking to 20 people in a shelter. That's what it sounds like. Biden sounds like he's talking to a whole auditorium. He sounds like he's talking to like 5 or 10 people in a shelter. That's what it sounds like. And you are so fucking delusional.
And they're really encouraged by the...
I'm fucking done. I'm actually done with this whole fucking video. All it's making me want to do is just travel to the White House and punch Trump. Of course, that'll probably fuck me over, because that'll mean I'll potentially catch COVID. Because he's been tested positive for COVID. And you want to know what this moron said? He said, it was a blessing. What? I'm sorry, it is a blessing to have a virus that can kill you. Right. Well done. Well done, you fucking dickweed. Why did people vote for you? Why is anyone voting for you? Why aren't people deciding, actually, yeah, Trump's a bit of a fuckwit. I'm taking my vote and giving it to this person. And all going, yeah, Trump, nah, I'm gonna go vote for third party. Why? Why do people do this? Seriously. Trump doesn't give a shit about you. All he cares about is, effectively, stealing your money. That's effectively all this is. The Republicans just want to stay in power, and they're using Trump to do that. These people have practically forgotten the point. What is the point anymore? There isn't one. I'm not going to do my regular outro for this one. I'm not. Trump's clearly living in a fantasy world. This needs to stop. Trump needs to be kicked out of office. Like, right now. He really fucking does.